Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whenever you are. Welcome to another episode of Community Live Stream. This is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. My name is Chuck Tomasi. Put that up there for you. Oh, something's going on with the keyboards today. They just don't like me. Nope. Let's see what's going on. Try that now. Nope. It's going to be one of those days. Let's just do a quick test. That keyboard is listening, but for whatever reason, oh, there we go. I feel like an organist. I've got two keyboards here. If this is any display of my musical talents, I would make a terrible organist. So it is Tuesday. I am Chuck Tomasi. I am making sure that my video feeds are also broadcasting to the world, making sure that it works for you, because we are broadcasting this on YouTube over at User ServiceNow Community on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel. You'll get the notifications. There's a few of you watching. Good morning to you. Give me a shout out. Let me know where you're from. How's the weather in your area? All that good kind of stuff. But if you've got any questions or issues related to, cat hair on the nose, apparently, no, related to ServiceNow, that one's going to come back and bother me. Put them in the community, and I will do my best to respond. Here comes the sneeze. I'll mute if I have to. This is done in real time. No retakes, no editing. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, that was fun. Ooh. So, again, questions, issues in the community. That way everybody gets to see them. We can learn from them. We can search for them later. There are discussions that we will dig into that are probably 2 or more years old. If you put that into the chat, we're not going to see it. But I would love to talk to you in the chat, just on a chat style basis. Maybe you've got something in the community that you want to draw my attention to. You can put the link, not the whole link. YouTube doesn't seem to like that, but you can put the suffix in there. Good morning, Jay Freeze from Chicago. Hope spring is on its way. Carolyn from Delaware, and Steve from Sweden. Good gravy. We've got the regular crew signing in here. Good morning. Good to see you. And if you're new to this, this is a way for me to share what's in my head, not only give you an answer to what's on the community, but also share how we got that answer. And I think that's very valuable. Sometimes it's just looking in docs or exploring properties. We'll also cover best practices and tips and tricks and ways you can interact better with your business analysts and line of business and people making requirements about applications, etc. There's so much that goes on into the thought process of getting one of these answers that I wanted to share that with you. And that's really what this show is all about. And you get an hour of me. It's what it boils down to. That nose is going to bother me the whole show. I do have some things from yesterday that I want to follow up on. There were some really good threads, and I will bring you up to speed. If you were not watching yesterday, I'll give you some background to that as well, so we're not jumping into a conversation that has been going on for hours or days or weeks or even years, as I mentioned before. We are simulcasting this on Twitch, so if you're over on Twitch, thank you very much. I am going to close that ad, so if anybody does jump into the chat there, I will see it. We are also, I mentioned YouTube. I will be using the developer community. You can go over and get your free developer instance. I may have to look up an API. That's on the developer site. I may be using my free developer instance. That came from the developer site. I also like to draw your attention to, let's put that away for just for a second. There are a number of events that are on the developer site. And looking at the developer meetups, if you are a ServiceNow developer or admin, this may be of interest to you. There are a number of them locally. Coming up next week, we've got Orlando, Las Vegas, London, Helsinki, and Munich. Those are all coming up next week, so be sure to check those out if you're anywhere near one of those areas at that time. But keep an eye on the developer portal for meetups in your area. If there isn't one, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you to get one started. The other thing I'd like to draw your attention to is there are some ServiceNow user group meetings, some snugs as we call them, coming up. And I got this by going to groups, ServiceNow user groups. And I have those queued up here. April 17th is Saskatchewan user group in Regina on April 17th. As I mentioned, Hawaii has a snug. Oh, why don't they send me there? On April 17th. Wouldn't that be nice? April 17th has also got one for Vancouver. I think I'll stick with Hawaii. Sorry, can't make it to Vancouver. No, I would love to. I would love to go to all of these. April 18th also is the Southern Alberta user group. So there are quite a few. Oh, I missed a few at the beginning. I apologize, because there's one tomorrow in Western Pennsylvania, one on Thursday in Connecticut, another one in Arizona. I will be going to that one in Phoenix on Thursday, and then next week we get into Central Pennsylvania. There is a CMDB Lunch and Learn. You can go to the events page. Excuse me. Go to the groups, ServiceNow user groups, and see all of that information on that page as well, directly from the community at community.servicenow.com. Give me a desk bell. There we go. All right, are you ready to get going on this? Because I think I am now. We got all that out of the way. We'll talk to you more about what else we've got. That page took a long time. Probably rendering the map. Let's get back to the main. Of course, you know, this machine's only doing like 2 video streams, and got my herbal tea ready to go. It's hot. It keeps me awake. Let's get started with, take a look at some unreplied. We'll start with some fresh conversations for you. See what we've got in the inbox. Unable to access dev 30338. You know what? Sometimes I can help with these. If you are having questions about the community, if you're going to post something, please be sure to post it in the right forum. We have a forum for, hey, my personal developer instance doesn't work, should go in the instance help. This is in developer community. We have people that get notified and can really dig in and help if it's in the instance help. It even says that on the developer community when it says, hey, having problems with your instance? Click here and it will take you to the right place. This person sort of ran rogue on us. So let me see what I can do otherwise. The instance is unavailable, 30338, which means it's probably asleep. Okay. That could be it's in the middle of an upgrade. So be patient and wait. My question to you is, let's try this dictation thing again. We turned it on this weekend. It was working pretty good yesterday. Some humorous typos. It doesn't know what an onload client script is, apparently. Hi, Greta, comma. This could be that your instance is in the middle of an upgrade, period. Please be patient, period. If it has been this way for more than a day, please let us know, period. Not too bad, but I believe it spelled her name incorrectly. It was Gitrana. Okay. You know what? Let's just leave the name off because I think that's a user handle. Don't forget to go into your profile and set your display name so that it shows up instead of a login ID or an ID, it will show your actual name. You can do that by going into here and saying community profile. You can edit your profile. Let's see what we get for a response on that. That was posted just a couple of minutes ago, so we should have an answer fairly quickly how long that was going in. 30338. Let me just see if I can get to it as well. Dev 30338.servicenow.com. Never hurts to check. Yeah, it's down. Can I dev 30338? Can I get to it this way? I want to see if I can hop onto it. This is a way that our customer support people do this. I'm going to log in. Log in with the right password. Nice and complex. Two-factor is always a good thing. I highly recommend it if you have two-factor on any account, whether it's Facebook, Evernote, Google, whatever, regardless of whether it is a Google Authenticator or a text message to you, turn on two-factor, please. I implore you. It may be a little annoying. I've got my two-factor codes on my watch, which makes it handy. I'm trying to find the right one. I think this one is further down. Oh my, where'd it go? Am I blind today? There it is. Whew. It's halfway down. Make sure I get the right one there. And away we go. Again, see if I can contact that instance. Wait for it. So when a customer support engineer has to go in and turn on a plugin that requires maint access, like a subscribable plugin, sometimes this works. Nope, it's dead. It's down. I can't get to it. That's what that message means. Unable to generate credentials. Not happening. Translations, Service Portal, Kingston. I might be able to help with that. Could be scripting. Could be something else. I do have a quick tip coming up in a future Tech Now episode that will help with translations as you write your code. I've got some issues with translations in Service Portal. The type ahead search text always says in Portuguese. When I switch the language to English, it doesn't change at all. How can I adjust it? Type ahead search for what? What are we searching for? Welcome to the HR Services Portal. Presentation, title, short description, type ahead search. MSG, links, reference, do you know how I can translate the name of the SC categories into Portuguese? Translations. Let me look it up in the docs before I start transcribing that. Internationalization. I can't remember if it's internationalization or localization, but it is in the docs. Everything you need to know about that. So you can internationalize a widget. I will copy that address. Let's put it here. I'll move my reference links here. Is it translating? What was it? It said something. I can't remember the name of the title. Internationalize a widget. I don't even think that's a verb. Internationalize a widget. That's one. Excuse me. Link. And then I'll write the body text around this. New window. I hit cancel. Darn it. Isn't it normal that the OK button is on the right? Maybe I'm just imagining things. Or it's still early. Knowledge international support, language international. Translate an instance. That's the one I was looking for. Translate an instance is... Translate an instance. Put that in there. Give it a link. And what was this person's name? Do we know? Paulina. All right, let's play with the dictation thing again. Hi, Paulina, comma. Yeah. Let's do it again. Another line. It sounds like you might be missing some translation entries in various tables. Period. You can find out more about translating your instance using the links below. Period. You might be missing some translation entries. Again, I maybe need to enunciate a little clearer to get this to work. I'm surprised it works at all. I'm now wearing a headset. The microphone is just off camera. There, I broke the fourth wall. No longer a show. It's just a guy in his house with a microphone. Good morning, Harsh. Hope things went well for you on your Monday and you are having a great evening over in India. I'm curious, how many people found out about this through the developer newsletter? If you could just pop that up in the chat, or if, I know some of you have been watching almost from the beginning, probably subscribe to this channel, and it just says, hey, ServiceNow Community has a live stream going. You thought, I'll check this out. That could be one other way. It might be that you were just stumbling around the internet and found this crazy guy with a bow tie. Let's have some more fun. Unable to access translations. I'm going to refresh this list, see if anything recently came in. Do a quick look on the instance unavailable. Here's another one. Let's find out what's up with this instance. Maybe it's systemic. This has happened in the past. Sometimes they'll be installing a patch and systems go in for a patch and they don't come back. Service interruption. This one has been posted recently, just now. Report a problem with your instance. How long has it been this way? How long has it been this way? Question mark. I wish I knew how to throw in new lines, but maybe I'll do that afterwards because it seems to be too time consuming to do it now. I'll find out how long it is Tuesday and there's a helicopter going overhead. Probably can't hear that. I have very leaky windows when it comes to sound. Here's a nice one in Portuguese. Not sure I'm going to be... Oh, for the ServiceNow user group in Brazil. I don't remember being subscribed to that group. Interesting. Service portal ticket conversation. If two users are updating the same record at the same time using async business rule, then what will happen? Well, the universe implodes, but nothing major. Found you in December. I was spending most of my day watching ServiceNow YouTube videos. Thanks, Carolyn. If two users are updating the same records at the same time using async business rule, then what will happen? When an async business rule is running, then some other user also updating the same record, then what will happen? Sounds like the same question twice, but maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Async business rules run in the background, so let's put that in there. Async business rules run in the background. Period. If a user has a form open, then the form will show a blue heartbeat icon next to any fields that have changed. Period. It doesn't matter whether another user made the change or a business rule made the change. Period. Because it's an async business rule, comma, the heartbeat icon, timed out. Async business rules, I like that. I think we're just going to have buttons or t-shirts made at Knowledge about all these crazy typos. A blue heart mean icon. Yeah, what's a heart mean? Come on, you don't know the word heartbeat? If a user has the form open, the form will show a blue heartbeat icon next to any fields that have changed. It doesn't matter whether another user made the change or the business rule made the change because in async basis rule, because it's an async business rule, what was I going to say? I can't remember. It may take a second or two to run in the background and update the record. List v3, 3 will show live updates to records as well. Something tells me that's not quite the question that was asked, but we'll find out. We'll move it a little closer to the goal line. Our vCenter discovery. Ooh, Tom, probably not going to go there. Can we make name and short description of service catalog item in bold? What's the reason here? That's what I was wondering. Is there any way we can make the name and short description of service catalog item in bold letter, both in classic and portal view? Okay, not out of the box. And not supported. What is the business use case for this? And you can also put in an enhancement request if you really think it's important. If you feel this is really important. There's a business use case for this, or is someone just asking, hey, can we do this? I'm finding that maybe the typing is a little quicker than the dictation. Don't know for sure. Harsh found us while getting to look around some other ServiceNow videos. Speaking of other ServiceNow videos, I also encourage you to go over to the ServiceNow Dev Program YouTube channel, A lot of good stuff over there if you are doing development with scripts or integrations, you know, things that I specialize in. I don't claim to know everything. That was evident on last week's live coding happy hour that went on that channel. There may be, this hasn't been finalized yet, so you're hearing it here first. There may be a chance that the Tech Now videos will start showing up on the developer program channel. They've traditionally, originally for the first year or two, they were part of the ServiceNow support, which I believe was just called ServiceNow demos once upon a time. Then that got changed in name. When the community came along and we started really integrating these into the community, we migrated the Tech Now videos over to the community. They're still embedded in the community, and they will continue to be part of that. But they'll be hosted. It really doesn't matter to you. But if you're searching for them, you may notice that they're going to be somewhere else. I would love to get a comprehensive playlist on the developer channel. I need credentials to do that. We're working on that right now. Good morning, New York City, specifically Antonio Cruz. Welcome to Community Livestream. You guys are in for a treat. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. It is 20 minutes after the hour, about 21 minutes into the show. Time for another slug of hot herbal tea. I am going through the ServiceNow community, finding what I can find and helping where I can help. Getting stuff out of my head. This is a great way to start the day. Gets my brain engaged in gear. Helps you out, I hope. Service interruption. This sounds like it may be something epidemic. Like maybe patch 3 was being applied. 20732. This was posted 3 hours ago. So let's see if 20732 is alive. 20732.service-now.com. Is it still dead? It's still dead. Okay. Don't forget, developer meetups. Is there any way to reverse sync LDAP users? That's an interesting question. Can you push to LDAP? That would be... It's a lightweight directory access protocol. I don't believe there's a write operation on there. I don't know why I just refreshed the entire page. Maybe I'll see something interesting. What's Storm's Read PPS admin role and the new Kingston IT PPS admin role? That's a very good question. Populate the to field in email client. Yes, you can do that. There are 5 replies on there if you want to see what's going on there. I also have another thread that had some interesting responses that I will show you in just a bit. Slow browser, take a drink. It's going to be a good drink. All right, that's about as much as I can drink. Otherwise, I'm going to have to run back to the restroom. I have a client template for incidents which use script to populate the email client. Don't need that. Okay. Try entering CMDB-CI owner owned by email in the to field. Go to the email client, create a new on-field JavaScript, get user ID. You can use JavaScript, include... let's see. I suspect the to field in the email client can't be populated with scripts. Can anyone suggest a way around this? There is not that one. Customize the email client. You can put the to in there because I believe by default incident puts the caller ID. Copy link address. I'm going to click into that as well. ACL email autocomplete to defaults to the email address of the caller. Create an email client template. Set from address with an email client template. Display the reply to. Let's find out what's in the email client template. There's your to field. Yes, to comma separated list. Body HTML template print. Somewhere in there, if we look, this is where the docs don't give me the full picture, and I like to go to my personal developer instance. Email template, not email trigger. sometimes template will give you too much. It's like typing system in here. Compliance, system, policy, email, templates. There it is, down on the bottom. There is a couple of seconds latency. Apologize for that. Between what I do on my screen and then what you see. It's a little weird. So email template. Let's look for funnel. Anything where to? Oh, we don't have that. Oh, it's the client template. Wrong module. Sorry. Let's see. I just had a thought, but I'm not going to take it here. It's unrelated. It has to do with the video production and how we might be able to make this a little bit better. Let's see. CC, where the to field is not empty. Run. I hope spring is on the way after all the terrible storms we've had this winter in various areas. We have reply all received, reply all sent, reply all for customer service. Let's see. I'm just going to take these apart one at a time, see what's in there. You can put the field name in there. So proof that you can. I happen to be in the wrong scope, but let's reply to that also. You can dot walk to your field, to your email field through any field on the form. Example from customer service. I should probably give the first part of that. You can do this with an email client template, which was where, Mr. Chalk? System policy email client templates. From system policy email client templates. And of course, we need a big, beautiful create an email client template. Docs, create an email client template. Paste, link, paste, new window. Okay. If I say it while I'm clicking it, it almost looks like I'm telling the computer what to do. Verbally. That's not happening. All right, that instance was down. Oh, we have stuff in the inbox. Let's refresh the inbox just to see where we're going with that, and that'll take us to about 1/2 the hour. At which point, I think I'm going to shift gears and go into response mode for the other ones. Gitrana says, could be in the middle of the upgrade. How long has it been this way? That was my next question. I forgot to ask this one. I thought it. I think I may even said it. How long has it been this way? And in the future, I think this is the one that was posted in the wrong place. Yeah, it was. Let's make a slight correction. In the future, you may want to post to the instance help forum. We have specialists there that monitor and can directly help. All right. Dictation's fun, but it's not accurate, and I think it's a little slower. We'll decide. Instance unavailable. Let's find out how long this one's been a problem. Could be one of these mornings. It was working yesterday evening. I checked this morning about an hour ago, but it could have been down before that. Let me tag our helpers. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. It is free after all. I'll ping. Do we have @ mentions here? chat mentions. Oh, I think that is on the feature list. One of our wonderful instance helpers should be along shortly. AKA Jack or Brad. Can we make the name and short field? So I want to know what they wanted to make the name and short description field in here. You can refer to the following link, ServiceNow Guru. Oh, this makes me nervous because a lot of this information is old, has DOM manipulation in it, and is really not good to put on modern instances. But before I crucify this article, let's see. No, come on. Go away. Go away. Lock. Don't subscribe. Out of my way. Okay, gform get control. That's good. They're going through get control. Gform get control. Still working on it. Sys display is somewhat suspect. All right, this isn't as bad as I thought, but I don't know if it's going to work with Portal. At least it's not using DOM. December 3rd, 2010. Okay, that is a little old. I'm going to give a friendly warning that this is over 7 years old. Here, I'm going to say it this time. Just a friendly warning, colon. This article was posted 7 years ago and may not work with the current release. Period. Use at your own risk! Exclamation point. Love the folks over at CrossFuse and ServiceNowGuru.com. Mark Stanger is a very smart individual. Don't know where he went, though. I think he retired last year, or was it 2 years ago? He said, I'm leaving the ServiceNow world. He was very good to me in my early ServiceNow career as well. So hopefully I'm returning the favor to some of you. That's kind of what we do. A lot of people when I was a customer and even early when I was an employee, very nice, very smart, very sharing with their information. And I said, this is a culture I could get into. That's kind of why it says learn, share, help on the opening title screen and the closing title screen. Is there any way to flag old articles in the community? Not that I know, Steve. That might be something we want. What sort of flagging would you be looking for? You want a filter that says show me things that were created 10 years ago? Or that one wasn't really an old article. It was an old posting on a third-party site, ServiceNowGuru.com, which has some good information on it. I just spun up a Kingston instance, patch 3, and it is fine. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, mine has been behaving as well also. Got through the patch 3 upgrade. I think we went from patch 1 to patch 3. Seemed to survive all right. I don't know. Sometimes in the past, there have been cases where we did the upgrade and a node didn't restart or something. It was a little strange. All right, I said I was going to switch into response mode and get back to some of these threads that had come along yesterday. Before I do that, I want to remind you, can't get by without an ad for Kingston. I mean, Knowledge. Started with a K, right? Knowledge is coming up May 7th through 10th in Las Vegas. All your friends will be there, so why not be there also? It's whether you are CIO or developer or somewhere in between, there is tons of information for you at this event. Go and sign up at knowledge.servicenow.com. Hands-on labs, CIO exec breakouts, architectural discussions. 90% of the content is presented by customers. We are going through a heavy review process right now. Make sure everybody's messaging is clear, interesting content. We want 5.0 ratings on all of these sessions, whether they are hands-on workshops / labs or breakout sessions. This is going to be the best. I think we had 4.5 last year. We are aiming for 5.0. Why not? We want 5s on everything. If there is something wrong, boy, someone's going to... It's like Uber ratings. If you're not a 4.9 or above, someone's head is going to roll. I'm just kidding. It's going to be a wonderful session, wonderful time. Don't forget to also check the checkbox that says CreatorCon, so you are entitled to go to that extended content. CreatorCon is like a conference within a conference for developers and admins that you can get that rich, deeper technical content, gamification and prizes, and so much stuff is going to be at Knowledge. It's like Disney World for ServiceNow geeks. It's a wonderful thing. We want to see you there. Let's see. Steve writes back, when you Google stuff and you can get hits so that they have a few years on them, and if you discover that they're out of date and invalid, they should be removed. I disagree that it should be removed. I just think that people should watch closer to when it was created. A lot of the information, say, that I wrote 7, 8 years ago is still valid. Blog articles about gs.getMessage, for example, or how to sort things in an array. It's still valid from that standpoint. It's just the UI has changed more than anything, and we've gotten better at best practices that protect customers from things breaking. The only part that stinks about old posts is that they contain wiki links. Yes, I know. That is sad that nobody came up with a redirection engine in the middle there. It would be great. I believe we still have the host name wiki.servicenow.com. But it'd be nice if that somehow had a map. But it would be kind of crazy to keep those links up to date with each release. It is. And we knew this was coming for at least a year in advance. And the docs team was saying, please, the community was banging on us also saying, please don't use wiki links anymore. It's going away. Some of us, present company included, were a little slow to change. I'm sure you know how there was larger favor for the wiki at the time than there was for the doc site. The doc site was not quite in parity with what was on the wiki. So people were a little reluctant to use the docs links. Now, frankly, we have no choice. And the docs site is getting much, much better. So I don't have an example of this movement at the moment, but I stumbled on one other week. Okay, Carolyn, I'm scrolling back in the comments just to make sure we get everything. Carolyn says, mine hasn't. It's been giving me login issues. Are you talking about your personal developer instance, Carolyn? If you give me an instance number, dev, whatever it is, I can take a quick look and see if you've got, if there's something I can help with. If not, let's go on to, whoa, something just happened there. I was trying to do a copy and paste, and it completely dorked it all up, as my coworker Josh Personius would say. It got all dorked up. Let's see, while Carolyn is thinking about that. Basic questions. This was a good question yesterday that came in. Said, I have some basic questions. How two systems can integrate. First option is web services. 2, when can we use a business query? This is a lot of questions, and I don't normally recommend putting lots of questions into one post. It makes it a little trickier to say, hey, this was the actual result, especially if 3/4 are answered and 1 isn't. It can go on and morph, and it's not a best practice for the community. In this case, it did happen to work out well. So I had written back and said, there are lots of options for integrations. You can use JDBC, email, FTP, web services. There are a lot of integrations. It's one of the strengths. I'm not looking at the screen here. Let's try that again. I apologize. The knowledge ad was up a little too long. Let's fix that. So the integrations part, it's one of the richest parts of the platform. Very easy to configure integrations. You can get deeper and make custom integrations. Carolyn, I'm going to copy that instance number for just a second. They also asked about query business rules. Query business rules are a way to sort of like a global reference qualifier, and it's for everybody. But you can put script in there that says it's by role or by persona, whatever you want to put in a query business rule. It happens before a list or form is loaded. So if you look at this, Brad pulled up one of our favorite diagrams that says user or system query. So this user says, I want to go to the user list, or I want to go to the incident list. And if there is a business rule that has it says query, it will do that filter before it actually hits the database. It says, are you allowed to see this record or these records? It says, if you're not an admin, you shouldn't see users where the inactive box is checked, or active is not checked. Should reverse that and say it properly. Then it brings back a list of just active users, for example. Or if you are not in the caller field or the assigned to field or the watch list, I'm not going to show you this instance. It's just taken out before it even gets out of the database. It comes back as a query and says, here's all your incidents that you can see because I've already filtered them for you. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit something on my mouse that caused me to scroll down a bit. Okay. Then display rules come in. They asked about display rules and onload client scripts. Display rules are run before a form is loaded. So this isn't really clear on that particular question. The most common use case I see for a display business rule is putting something into the G Scratchpad object. You can learn more about this, of course, on one of the early Tech Now episodes. I think it was episode 5. Put that in. You can then consume that information in the onload client script. So logically, the display business rule runs first, then the onload client script. These are a lot of rabbit trails that I love to go down when I'm teaching the app creation course, but I can't. I have to stick with the program because there's only so much time. And if it's not in the manual, people get a little upset. They're like, what? What is he talking about? So hopefully we're having fun with that. So lots of good information in this thread. Brad contributed, very helpful. Display business rule run before onload. He also puts a link to the final question was, what's the difference between a Jakarta instance and a Kingston instance? Release notes. That's all I can say. It's probably your best way. Flow Designer and Integration Hub were the two big features from the platform standpoint. There are many other applications that also have a rich set of features that came out, and those are all described in the release notes. Let me take a look at that instance, Carolyn, 18691. Thank you very much. ServiceNow.com. See if we can at least get a login prompt. Yes. Okay, that's good. We got the login. I'm going to try and hop onto that instance. Hopefully it still remembers my credentials. It does. I can reset my password. The only way I can get in is to reset. And is it asking you to reset multiple times, Carolyn? Is it, you reset it and then you try that password. So you go reset and you reset it to 123 ABC. You log in, everything's fine, log out. What happens the next time you try logging in as admin with 123 ABC? Does it not let you? Or does it do something else? I'm going to make that a tiny bit bigger. And we will see what comes of that. All right, while she's answering me on that question, I'm going to go get another wonderful follow-up link that we had from yesterday's discussion. I think this was yesterday. So once you reset the password, are you just, it's asking you to reset the password over and over and over again? And you never get in? Because I thought you said the only way you get in is a reset. Alec Lynn had asked about being able to create scheduled jobs, something that runs on a scheduled basis. Run this every night, run this every Tuesday, run this every whatever it is. And he was able to do it in Studio, and I verified you're able to do it in system definition scheduled jobs, but you can't do it from a script, from a scoped app. And his response, I said, yes, this is exactly what scoped apps are supposed to do. I have records in one table scope, and you can say, look, other applications can read from this table. Other applications can write to this table. This is our cross-scope application security. This was introduced in Fuji. So it's been around for a while. And I'm kind of surprised because Alec has been around just a little bit longer than I have at ServiceNow. But a lot of his time has been in the ITOM space, so may not be exposed to this. He was trying to write a script into the sysauto_script table and then trigger it manually. That's exactly what scoping prevents you from doing. It says, I have records in my table and other applications, his scoped app, cannot write to this table. Now, when you're in Studio, obviously you have to be able to write into that table, but it's writing it into your scope, not into the global scope. It's a crazy way to do this, but it works. And he writes back and says, I guess I really didn't mean it's specific to Studio. I meant that you can only create it through the UI. I'm used to the global scope where you can just go around running, doing whatever you want. And that's where things would get into trouble. It also didn't allow us any protection between, not only between apps, but being able to say, hey, HR information is not visible to admins. Am I to assume that this is something explicitly prevented through scoped app, meaning that we're not allowed to dynamically create a scheduled job through script? That is, yeah, if you think about it from, say, your scoped app creating an incident, that is correct, Alec. Alec, if you think about it from, say, incident, and that table has read only for other applications, then your scope won't be able to create records in that table via script. That's effectively what you're looking to do. What you're trying to do. All right. After I reset and change my password under the system admin, and when I try to get back in, I can't. I follow the direction on the main developer screen, and it doesn't work. I posted the community yesterday. Oh, okay. I apologize. I'm only on the community for about an hour, another 10 minutes. Let's see what we can find. Maybe, hopefully help you along. Let's take this article, put in your SysID, and see what we get. Good morning, Florida. Aspen Now Solutions. I've seen this before. It's kind of wacky. Oh, I've got SysID equals. I messed up the... Hold on, I got to get rid of my %3D and the extra SysID and whatnot. See if we can put that in there. Please log in for content. All right, that didn't work. SysID starts out EB94F0E. Huh. Maybe it's not a question. Let's go to... I'm not buying this login malarkey. First, let me check and see if user A... Carolyn, let's try something brute force first. I am going to... You're just trying the regular admin account, right? User ID equals admin. Okay, don't anybody look. View default asset ITIL. Where's the password? Following mandatory fields are not filled in. Fine, we'll give you a company. You belong to the gourmet cupboard. Just so we can get beyond that. And I still need a password. Where'd the password field go? I need a view with a password. I don't want to modify your view. Self-service. I don't think self-service has a password field. Nope. All right, I don't want to configure that. Let's try business card. I don't think business card has a password. That wouldn't make any sense. Nope. I'm just trying them. Self-service. No, I think I already just tried that. And portal. View portal. No password field. I can't reset your password. Boo. All right, what I'm going to do is take one of these obscure views and like asset. Nobody uses that view, right? And I'm just going to put the password field on the asset form so that I can reset it for you. I'm also going to put password needs reset on there just so when you log in with the new password, it will prompt you. So let's put password there and password needs reset there. Save that. Good old form designer. Okay, reload the form. Lesson in basic sysadmin, how to add fields. And I am going to change this to password 123 here. And change that to needs reset, update that. Try admin, password 123. First part's your login, the second part's your password. See what you get. You should get prompted to change your password. Also, before I go, we talked about knowledge. Follow-up link, I saw this, hit the community this morning. If you missed it, registration is open, not just for the conference, but for your sessions. Go to, I'm going to paste this, oh, I don't know if I can paste this directly into the into YouTube. Let's find out. Let's just take the HTTPS off and see what happens. No. Darn it. Edit and try again. Paste. Go to. Can we just take this off? I wonder. I'll take the www off. No. Oh, buggers. Okay. I am going to post this here. Make it a nice big window that you can all read. It is at servicenow-events.com. Probably get a link to this right through the knowledge page. But the event agenda is up. You can pick your sessions, sign up. Things are filling up fast. There are some very, very popular sessions that are coming up. So go log in and check there. Carolyn, let me know how your password reset is going. And I am going to look at one more link. See if I can find this. Community.servicenow.com. It's been a fun discussion today. I'm glad you all made it here. A lot of fun. Loading, 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 loading. We have one application named ITIL Access in which users... Oop! Okay. Oh, this was they were looking to integrated applications. What does it take to integrate with another application? And I wrote down a few questions like, do you have any APIs available? Is this internal or external? So, you know, whether we're talking about server or not. Do you need to do this in real time or batch? Mainly, you know, like at night. So there are a lot of basic questions around integrations. And he writes back and says, it's an internal web application. There are no published APIs. Yes, hosted application on-premise. I want a real-time update. This gets a little tricky. If there are no published APIs, how are you supposed to get information in and out of this thing? So the first question is, and this is often how integrations go when you're dealing with an unknown application, is there's some question, there's some Q&A dialogue going back and forth. Okay. If there are no published APIs, then how can you expect to get information, or how do you? Here, I should probably be a little more polite on the front end because this may sound a little nasty. Thank you for the additional information. There are no published APIs. How do you intend to get information in or out of this application? That's kind of what integrations do. Da, 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 da. If it is homegrown, written in-house, then talk to your developers about adding functionality to facilitate the integration. My recommendation would be a REST API. You can then get to it from your instance, your ServiceNow instance, via a MID server. And of course, we're going to need a link to a MID server. In case you've never heard of what a MID server is, it's an agent that sits on your network. Where'd my doc pages go? There. Sits on your network, pulls your instance every few seconds. Hey, is there work for me to do? Is there work for me to do? Is there work for me to do? And when you've got an integration or discovery or something of that nature, puts it into this queue so that when the MID server checks in and says, is there work for me to do? It goes and does the work, picks it up, and does this behind your firewall without poking holes in the firewall. It does it all through secure HTTPS, port 443, outbound traffic. So your security people are happy. They're not making special commendations for this integration. It's just an agent, as if it was, almost like a proxy, but a proxy that's checking out with the ServiceNow instance. Go, hey, is there work to do? Is there work to do? Is there work to do? Let's get the generic link to the MID server and post that in there. So I did have a follow-up. Oops, wanted to kind of put that in here. Boop. Just had a follow-up comment about the old wiki links. Sometimes you can read the URL and find out what it was trying to talk about and relate that to the new doc site. Some are very, very close. If it was talking about a MID server and you click the MID server link and it takes you to the old wiki and it's not a MID server, you'll see in the URL, mid_server. Try putting that, of course, without the underscore, into the doc site. So you can sometimes manually get through there, but yeah, the old wiki links aren't going to work. If I were Emperor of the World, I would have had a little interceptor in there that says, hey, you got a wiki link. Any luck, Carolyn, before I sign off? Just double checking to see if you were able to log it with that login and password. Excuse me. Not having a very polite morning. But I have followed up on everything I want to follow up on. I've looked at new things that I want to look at new things. And let's check the inbox one more time. I suspect some replies came into this, that, or the other thing. And then I'm going to turn you people loose for the day or for the evening in some cases. Populate the to field. Russell Price comes back. Marked an answer correct. I clicked it. The correct answer is from Russell Price. Score! I got a correct answer today. I think that's a good way to end the day. Even though there were 5 replies. Don't shortchange yourself. You might be able to contribute to a conversation that's already well engaged. And it could be the secret sauce somebody has been somebody's been looking for. Translations in Service Portal. They had a Service Portal widget that was coming up with a lot of stuff in Portuguese, excuse me. I hope it's in Brazil or Portugal. And I gave him some links to help. It says, thanks, Chuck. I'll look at these articles. I actually switched to Portuguese and translated. Come on. It scrolled up, it scrolled down, and I'm getting seasick here. Switched to Portuguese and translated that sentence. I thought that will create an entry in the table automatically. No. And then I switched to the language again in English, and it doesn't work. It stays in Portuguese. Okay. Translation is going to, the articles I gave you, work to translate the system's labels, messages, etc. What you type in a field, in a string field, is not translated automatically. If I type English, it stays English. I have heard customers who have written integrations to allow them to translate string field, user input, like this, on demand, but I don't have any particulars. I recommend reaching out to the share portal to see what you can find. That's going to be, I can just type this one in. I know the URL. It's not that hard. Link. HTTPS share.servicenow.com. Window. Bada boom. Bada bing. If that's what you want to know. If that is your goal. Yeah, translating what a user says in real time is a bit expensive. All right, Carolyn, glad you got that working. Sorry I couldn't find the message for you. That takes me to the top of the hour, and I am going to salute and sign off. It's been a wonderful day. Lots of things to do on this busy Tuesday as we get closer. I think we're now 33 days to knowledge. So it's getting within that month, and I'm getting a little nervous, trying to get what I can get done as soon as possible because there are a lot of things that are going to creep up and be a traffic jam, log jam at the end that is going to make the last few weeks very interesting. So the more I can do now, the less of a strain that will be later. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, right here on the community live stream for Wednesday. Take care, learn something new, share it, and be helpful. And you will be a hero to everybody else. Bye. Have a great day.